Welcome to The Unfolding with Primo and Nita. On today's story, we're going to talk about a baboon. But this is not your regular primate. Instead, this one used to work and also get paid, just like an average human being. But before we get started, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button so that we may continue bringing content just like this to you. James White, also known as Jumper, worked for the Cape Town to Port Elizabeth railway services back in the late 1800s. He had been known for jumping between rail cars, hence the name Jumper. On one afternoon though, as he leapt from one car to another, he unfortunately fell and landed underneath a moving train. The massive metal wheels of the train ran over him and severed both his legs from the knee down. Jumper was devastated because not only did he lose both his legs, but he felt like he was not going to be able to ever go back to doing what he loved, and that was working for the railways. On one afternoon, as he was accustomed, he visited the marketplace on a small trolley that he had built to get himself around. But this time, something caught his eye. He saw a baboon leading an ox wagon. Upon seeing how smart it was, he was impressed and convinced that that baboon could serve him well. So Jumper approached the owner and pled to have the baboon to himself. At first, the owner was apprehensive, but he felt pity for the crippled man and decided to give away his favorite pet. James named the baboon Jack. The two lived less than a kilometer away from the railway depot, and each morning Jack would help push James up the hill to work, and sometimes Jack would hop on the trolley for a fun ride as it rolled on the other side of the hill. Not long after, Jack began assisting James by operating the railway signal. Basically, James kept the keys to the signal box at the station that unlocked points which enabled the train engineers to reach the coal sheds. So whenever an engineer needed coal, he would give 4 blasts on his train's whistle, and James would give the keys to Jack, and Jack would take the key over to the engineer. Not only did they forge a strong friendship, but they were also great working buddies. Matter of fact, the neighbors, the locals, they heard of this. Some couldn't believe, so much that they had to go and see for themselves as Jack worked. One day though, a prominent lady traveling to Port Elizabeth, for those who don't know, Port Elizabeth is now called Gqeberha. So anyways, as she was traveling, she saw Jack working and was horrified at the prospect of a baboon running the signals. Later, she reported the matter to the railway authorities, who were also unaware of this issue. Afterwards, the authorities visited the railway where Jack and James were working, and they immediately fired them. Fortunately, after James pleaded for their work, the system manager agreed to test Jack's ability to work, and undoubtedly, Jack passed with flying colors, earning both James and himself a job. From that day forward, he was known as Jack, the signals man. He received rations from the government as well as an employment number, and he went on to become the only baboon in history to work for a railroad. Sadly, Jack would die in 1890 from tuberculosis and was placed to rest in Albany Museum in South Africa. James would later die in 1921, some 31 years later in Wales, UK. Did you enjoy this story? Please don't forget to leave a comment and hit that like and subscribe button. Click on one of our videos for more content like this. Till next time, this is The Unfolding with Primo and Nita.